going on, YouTube? Nova here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the dancing machine on Hack the Box's Tier 0. This is another one of those machines that's going to help build your basic foundations. So without further ado, go ahead and get your poem box going and then spawn your machine. And one of the first things we're going to do is a in-map scan. Just go ahead and scan the top ports right now. And while that's doing that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these tasks that we have to complete. What does the three-letter acronym SMB stand for? That's going to be your server message block. What port does SMB use to operate at? We will come back to that one once our in-map scan is done, which it just finished. So you got 3 ports open, 135, 139, and 445. So your net BIOS on 139 is like your older version of SMB, and you got 445, which is your SMB. So we'll go ahead and do 445 here. What network communication model does SMB use, architecturally speaking? That's going to be your client server model. What is the service name for port 445 that came up in our in-map scan? So looking over here, 445, looks like the service is Microsoft TAC DS. So go ahead and do that one. What is the tool we use to connect to SMB shares from our Linux distribution? That's going to be your SMB client. If you don't have it, go ahead and download it now, but most Para OS and Kali Linux operating systems do have this pre-installed. What is a flag or switch we can use with the SMB tool to list the contents of the shares? So if you're not familiar with SMB client, you can do TAC H for help, and then just read through all this. You got TAC capital L or TAC list. So we'll go ahead and do TAC L. What is the name of the share we are able to access in the end? So we don't know that yet, so let's go ahead and SMB client in, capital L, and then our IP address of our dancing machine. So it's 10.129. And we'll just see if there's a blank password, which it worked. So it shows we got 4 shares. And if you notice, 3 of them have this $sign or money symbol. That usually means it's admin. And the only one that doesn't have it is work shares. What is the command we can use within the SMB shell to download the files we find? So before we answer that one, let's go ahead and SMB client into the shares folder for shares. And again, we're going to do no password. And now we're inside, so we can type help. And here's a list of the commands we can use. And if you go through, you see git, which is going to come in handy. dir can come in handy. ls will come in handy. So the question was, what is the command we can use within the SMB shell to download the files we find? That's going to be your git command. That's going to essentially download it to your machine. So now it's asking us to submit the root. So let's go ahead and ls, see what's inside here right now. So we have 2 directories, amy.j and james.p. So we can use change directory, cd. So cd amy.j. And we'll go ahead and list the contents. We have a worknotes.txt, which could come in handy. So we'll go ahead and download that file here, notes.txt. And then just back up one, ls again so you can see. And then now we're going to change directories to james.p. All right, and we see we have a flag.txt. So let's go ahead and get that file. I got it. There we go. All right, so you see we downloaded the work notes flag.txt and the flag.txt. So now we could go ahead and exit out and ls, and you see we have the work notes.txt and the flag.txt. So now we can use a command called cat, and we'll just go ahead and flag.txt. And this is our flag for the dancing machine. Alright guys, so that one was pretty simple. A lot of these tier zeros are going to help you build that foundation you need to succeed.